Don't speak what you don't understand. The truth is not in your command. Don't shout about what you think is fake. The decision isn't yours to make. Don't lie about the way things are. Tall tales will take you very far. Don't scoff when they say it's the end.
Okay, it looks like we're having technical difficulties. First, let me make sure that we're actually streaming. Looks like we are. Sorry, this always happens when I'm on the road. So give me 1 second to just post this in our Facebook page so people can watch. Okay. Now, today what I want to do is go over one detail on why we fight for transparency, because this is important. Now, some of you may take this as a minor issue, but to us it's not minor, because it shows that there's more information here that that we're not being told and we should be told. So when this thing first started, when the New York City employees PPO plan started, we were told this doesn't impact anyone on Medicare. I said, are you sure? Doesn't impact anyone on Medicare. Your plan won't be changing. I said, no, that's not the question I'm asking you. And we kept saying to them that there have to be changes, especially when they said that the city was changing with this healthcare plan, was also changing the drug plan. For those people who purchased the rider, the drug rider, through the city of New York, those would be your UFT retirees, anyone who doesn't have a welfare fund, the managerials, these people. You purchase a drug plan from the city of New York. Currently, that premium is about $150 a month. We said, so what are you saying, that if you're on Medicare and on the city drug rider, that this isn't going to affect us? How is that absolutely possible? I don't believe so, because then what you're literally saying is that you're grandfathering in the drug plan for the Medicare retirees, but then the rest of the citywide drug plan is changing. Marianne, this doesn't affect anyone on Medicare. I said, okay, fine. Now what happens? 1 week later, we are now hearing, and because Emblem sent a letter to everyone saying that any of the plans, and I want to show you the document. Let me see if I could screen share. So the Emblem Health sent out a letter to everyone that this would affect, and they wanted them to know that their drug plan would be changing. And we said, son of a gun, we told you. And they were like, well, so yesterday I'm boarding a plane and I get text messages from several retirees saying, hey, Marianne, do you know about this? And I said, I wouldn't be surprised, because we said this had to be possible because they were changing the drug plan for everybody else. And we know that Medicare retirees, hold on a second, Medicare retirees were on the same plan, on the same drug plan. Well, different drug plan, same company. And so they mocked us. They teased me. They called me a pain in the ass. Guess what? It's true. So when we say that we want transparency, there's a reason we want transparency. And it's because of things like this. Now, let me see if I can get the right screen to pop up instead of the wrong screen. Okay, let's see. Window. And of course, it doesn't want to pop up when you want it to pop up. And I'm not understanding why. Come on. Nope, it doesn't want to share it. That's crazy. Anyway, there's an email put out by the United Federation of Teachers, and it said yesterday, from the UFT Welfare Fund, what Emblem Health's change in pharmacy benefit manager means to you. What is a pharmacy benefit manager? That if you ever hear me say the words PBM, the letters PBM, pharmacy benefit manager, these are the companies that they buy the drugs. They mass purchase them. They're the ones that basically set the prices. They resell them to the pharmacies. It's not your little mom and pop pharmacy that sets the prices. It's the PBM. Okay, they are the middleman. They're the ones that get the chunk of the cash, which infuriates those small pharmaceutical companies, your your neighborhood mom and pop, because they're angry that their cut is literally going, a larger cut, to the PBM rather to them, and they're the ones that are doing all of the work, right? So it's frustrating and that's why you also see many of your local pharmacies closing, is because they can't sustain themselves due to all of the money technically going, to these PBMs. So this letter says, the UFT Welfare Fund. You may have recently received a letter from Emblem Health announcing that it is switching to Prime Therapeutics as its pharmacy benefit manager for all of its health plans, including, grab your pens, sit down, GHI Senior Care, which is the Medicare plan, HIP HMO, HIP VIP. This change will also apply to the NYC EPPO plan, as we've previously mentioned, and we wanted to clarify this change for you. Now, Michael Mulgrew has been on his pedestal for the last couple of weeks, saying, actually it's over a month, saying that nothing in this plan change will affect anyone on Medicare. Liar, liar, pants on fire. And this is why we've said to you guys, we need transparency. The contract actually literally allows the pharmacy benefit manager or the sponsor to choose the vendors that they use without any MLC input. So when Michael Mulgrew was saying that the plan design wouldn't change, he was using those words to not tell you the whole truth. When I said this to somebody else before, that they're specifically parsing their words to make sure that they can get around saying what they want to say and not what they don't. Because if you go back to the contract on the prescription drugs, and remember that slide presentation, let me see if I actually still have that up on my laptop. Because in the slide presentation, they actually do tell you, a little bit about the drug plan. And also what you guys are not recognizing, I think it was towards the end. It was like the last 2 pages. 20 and 21. Okay. So the NYC P-CUP drug program administered by Express Scripts is not changing at this time. That is going to change because they're also doing will be doing another RFP on that plan as well. In-service. Now notice they only talk about in-service UFT, people not with a welfare fund plan, because the welfare fund plan literally is the plan that is not related to this. And then pre-Medicare. They don't mention anything about Medicare retirees, but this actually did affect Medicare retirees. Also, prescriptions for ACA and New York State mandated drugs for pre-Medicare retirees. This also tells you a little bit about their plans. And 98% of prescriptions currently filled by pre-Medicare retirees in the GHI CBP plan would still be covered, with only 2%, do you see that? 2% having to change to an alternative medication. When you talk about, let me see if I pull up my trusty calculator here, you're talking again about 750,000 people. 750,000 people times 2%, you're talking about 15,000 people that will have to change their medications. You need to put this in the context of people, my friends, because that's really where it's important. And then here, 99% of prescriptions currently mandated by the Affordable Care Act, that's ACA, or New York State law, would still be covered, with only 1% having to change to their medications. Prime Therapeutics would allow, would allow for a customized formulary. That means that the MLC and the city have input on what drugs that they are allowed to cover and how much they cover them for, and what they could put into it, put out, take out of it, and what comes with a prior authorization. The MLC does have that input. That would be the customariness of it, which can't be done under the current plan without impacting costs. I don't necessarily believe this, but that's, of course, the line that they're giving you. And then it says Prime Therapeutics does not own retail or mail order pharmacies, meaning it can shop around for the best prices rather than dealing directly with businesses, directing its own inventory. So that's parsed language again, because Prime Therapeutics is the PBM, and they are the ones that are shopping for the prices, yes, but they're also setting them for profit margins, and then they're choosing which local pharmacies to farm them out to. So if you look at some of like the pharmaceutical company, Prime Therapeutics pharmaceutical list, one of the retirees posted today that on the official website for Prime Therapeutics that they don't list public shopping centers, which is a major grocery store down in the South, specifically Florida, very popular, but in the South generally. And so people would go to a Publix pharmacy, and that pharmacy isn't showing up. Now, I also heard that CVS was cut out, but if you look on that list, CVS is there. So we're trying to clarify that today as well. And then yet another person called Emblem yesterday and was also told that they will eventually be moving to Amazon mail order pharmacy. And I scratched my head on that one. I'm still taking that as rumor until I get clarification, because for a very anti-union company, that's pretty ugly for us to be engaging in, not endorsing the solidarity of union. But again, major concern for that too. But we are still on top of that, trying to get clarification. But I want to make sure you guys understand, when we're asking for transparency, I'm not saying that we're just going to go charging into court to stop shit. We need to get answers. And that's what we've been asking for. We've been sending letters, FedEx letters, certified letters to the city of New York demanding answers. You still don't have an SPD, and you have in about 3 weeks open enrollment. This is why you need these answers, so that you don't have to rush and make a decision. And then you also have the ability, because many of you have families, you need to understand, is this plan going to work for you? Is the drug plan going to work for you? If it's not going to work for you, or let's say you're on a specialty medication, like if you're an RA patient, you need to have specific medications, and the new formulary is trying to force you into a drug that will probably put you in agony for 3 or 6 months. And the doctor's going to say to you, you're already experiencing a good quality care with this specific medication. I'm not changing my patient to start changing their medications to see that maybe the cheaper drug works, when it could potentially put them back into pain and lose all the gains that we've had. This works. So then they would end up making you pay more, or you'd have to go through an appeal process. This is information that you guys need to know. Or maybe you tried that drug before and the drug didn't work, and now this PBM wants you to try it again. The doctor's going to have to fight for you in this. So this is why we want you to know, why this is important. And we are seeking transparency. We need to know. You need to know, because this is your drug plan. This is your family plan. And for those that are paying for it, you need to get your money's worth. Otherwise, would you have to look for a plan outside? I mean, and there are possible plans that are cheaper, but it's important to know what this plan would give you, because this is the plan that you're in. Okay, so let's take a couple quick questions, and then I'm just going to call it a day. You're welcome, Roberta. That's what we're here for, is staying on top of the information. You're welcome, Robert. Thank you. You're beyond appreciated. I have a very sick child and I'm very concerned. I already pay a huge amount out of pocket, have to fight for treatments, meds, and healthcare. I hear you. Are you live on Wednesday mornings at 9? No, I'm not on Wednesday mornings. I don't usually go on Wednesdays. Sometimes I just pop up here, but not tomorrow. Not tomorrow. And Friday night at 6. So I'm not going to be on Friday night at 6. I'm actually taking the night off to do something personal. I need some personal time. I thought that when it came up Prime, Amory, I'm telling you, Yes. We had the same thought, and that's why I started saying it right away. We asked about it early on when the contract was first being sent to the unions in the first week of September, and they told me I didn't know what I was talking about. Looked like I did. How do you explain to a father of a UFT member that everything was not on the comparison chart? Well, you know what, Long Beach, I'm going to tell you, there's going to be people that are going to believe me, and there's going to be people that are not going to believe me. But I'm going to put it this way. If everything I said was bullshit, I wouldn't still be here 4.5 years later. Clearly, we were right about a lot of things. And we're still right about this, because if you notice, the best way, I guess, to explain to him is Michael Mulgrew, before his delegate assembly, said, if you're on senior care, nothing changes. Go look at their website. It still says it. Hold on. Let me see if I could share that with you too, because it still says that nothing changes on the UFT plan. Okay, so let's see. Bottom line. Okay. Let's see if I can now. Does this change affect Medicare eligible retired members who are enrolled in the GHI senior care plan? No, he says. If you are enrolled in the GHI senior care plan, you will remain in your current health plan with no changes. If a retiree is enrolled in GHI senior care, has dependents who are not Medicare eligible and who are enrolled in GHI CBP, those dependents will automatically be transferred to the NYCE PPO plan. Now, that's important to know. It's very parsed language. He's only talking here about the drug plan, but that wasn't the question. The question was, does this change affect anyone who's on the senior care plan? This to me is still a change. Now, this here is under other health plan information, but if you go to his prescription drug tab, will anything change with our prescription drug coverage? He only talks about in-service members here up at the top, right? And in-service members are in the union plan. He talks about pre-Medicare retirees here. He doesn't talk about, after this, anything on this page to do about Medicare eligible retirees. And this plan is changing for them. It's also changing for people who are not UFT, at all. Oh, hold on. You weren't seeing that. Hold on a second. My bad. In the prescription, let's go back to that. In the prescription drug plan, he talks about in-service members. Then down here, he talks about pre-Medicare retirees. And nowhere else on here does it mention anything about Medicare people. And this would be a change, to them. Now, if I go back one more page, let me just make sure you guys caught up with that. Other health plan information. Perfect. Now, on this page is where I was first telling you. It says, does this change affect anyone on Medicare, on senior care plan? No, it says. If you're enrolled in the senior care plan, you will remain in your current health. This doesn't say, will it change your health plan? Does this change affect Medicare eligible members who are enrolled in senior care? And the answer to that is yes. So this is not true. It's not true. It's just not true. And so this is why we demand transparency, right? And that's what triggered the UFT having to put out that email to its members yesterday. That's why it's super important that there is transparency. Forgive me, they have no integrity or scruples. I don't, trust me, I say the same shit. I haven't heard from MEA on this. No, I don't hear from MEA. Yes, Gerald, it actually does. It applies to every UFT Medicare retiree or anyone who is on the city drug rider. It will change your drug plan, just your drug plan. And some of your medications may need to change, is what I'm telling you based on what they're saying here. Good morning and blessings to you all for all you do. You're welcome. Michael Mulgrew's nose must be as long as his arm right now. I think it's a little longer, sweetheart. Where you are on live, can you just tell us if the copay Rona, if you're getting our emails, I have been telling you that there's no movement. The case is still in court. There is no movement. So I can't do anything about that. The case will eventually be moved, and when it does, you will get information. We are still fighting that. It's not gone away. So if you are a member of our organization and you get our emails, then you would know that because I put this in our newsletter. And if you're not, I suggest you do join. You pay to become a member. It's only like $25 a year, and you donate to the legal cause so that we can keep funding the lawsuit. But yes, absolutely. The cases are still going, and that's on our website, and it's in the emails if you are a member. Good morning, Laura. Good to see you. I've been getting BS text about the importance about rolling in Medicare Advantage. So Anthony DiLeonardo, you are on some spam list. Report those texts and sign up for a do not call list. You should not be getting those kinds of spam calls. That's total BS. I'm getting call after call from their pharmacist. I'm on senior care. Why the calls? I don't trust them. So I don't know, Marcia, why you're getting calls from their pharmacist. You may want to call them back and don't give out, I wouldn't say don't feed them information, but ask them why they're calling and what they want from you, and then let us know. Email the organization. We can help you with that. Hector Robertson is running for city council in District 35, and he's speaking on the concerns of our health plan to make people aware. Okay. I'm retired UFT, as many of my friends. I told them Mulgrew doesn't care about. He's a snake. Well, unfortunately, a lot of people like snakes because they reelected him. I saw something that Express Scripts is gone, replaced by different benefit manager. Don't know where I saw it. What are they referring to? So, Faye, I would need to know where if your drug plan is through the rider of the city of New York. If your rider is the city of New York, then this change will affect you. If you're getting your drug plan through the union, then it does not affect you. I had to change one. If my prescriptions, now I have to take 2 extra pills. I was on the union drug plan, then switched to Medicare Part D due to Affordable Care Act. Does this change again? So if you were on the drug plan, on your union plan, and then you moved to the marketplace, this doesn't impact you because you're not on the plan, Gerald. If you're purchasing the rider from the city of New York, and that drug rider is the emblem rider, then yes, this impacts you. If you're on the marketplace, this doesn't impact you. That means you're paying for your own drug plan. I've asked them. Neither of them have replied. Faye, yes, the optional UFT rider. So, Faye, you would then be on the city health plan, and you are paying the $150 a month. Then this plan, come January 1, changes from your current pharmacy to Prime Therapeutics. That would be the new PBM that I've been discussing in this video. Gerald, I have it through your union. So then this doesn't impact you because you're not on the city drug rider. Okay, so keeping this short and sweet. It's 23 minutes. I am signing off. I will only pop on if I need to between now and Friday, and I will not see you Friday night. But for all those listening to this video, this is why we ask for transparency, because they teased me when I first said that this is why we wanted this information and we wanted the answers up front. And of course, those people thought I was crazy, and I ended up being right. Transparency. It solves all problems. And it's really that easy. So to the MLC, you really should have put this out to people, because now they're finding out, not from their union, not from their former union, not from the city of New York. They're finding out from Emblem Health Insurance Company. Last thing before I leave, the Yo Adrian You guys, you got phone calls to make every day, all day, nonstop, and don't stop till I tell you. Keep calling Adrienne Adams' office and tell her to put the bill to a hearing. The bill needs to go to a hearing. She's only going to hear it from you. You got one phone call to make. You can make that call all day long. All right, guys, enjoy your day. It's 10 o'clock. I am signing off. You have a great weekend. Oh, Bridget. What happens to the previous PICA med? So if you are an under 65 retiree or an active worker, hold on, let me go back to your slide here. PICA. I said, New York City PICA drug program administered by Express Scripts is not changing at this time. Go back to your slide sheet. You have those slides. Michael Mulgrew sent them to you. Or they came out from your former union or union if you're active, or non-Medicare retiree. You should have gotten this, and we put them up because they've been on our website. And this does say if you're in service, that says many in-service members receive most of their drugs through their union welfare fund. These drugs would not be affected. In-service members who receive their prescription drug benefit by purchasing the optional rider would be covered under the new plan's City Pharmacy Benefit Manager Prime Therapeutics. So hang in there, because I'm sure there's going to be more information coming out about this in the days to come, okay? But I know that they're going to put an RFP out on that PICA plan, and it's coming. So as well as they've already threatened us that they were going to do an RFP to do another bid on senior care. So this is why we need to stay relevant and we need to exist. So if you're not part of our organization, you should donate today, become a member. It's inexpensive as a annual membership fee, and donate to the legal cause and keep donating, even if it's a small amount monthly, because that's what keeps us going. We have that ability to fight to protect your health benefits when you have all of these people intentionally trying to mislead you. Have a great day, everybody. Take it easy.
Don't speak what you don't understand. The truth is not in your command. Don't shout about what you think is fake. The decision isn't yours to make.